Hello, this is the RPG Crawler with another Indie Game Friday, where each week I take a look at a different independent role-playing game. This week I'm going to take a look at Immortal Planet. Developed and published by TW Games, it was released on Steam on July 27th, 2017, and is available on Steam and GOG.com. It currently lists for $14.99 US. Immortal Planet is a top-down 2D action RPG with a definite Souls series influence. Set in a sci-fi universe upon a frozen planet, the inspiration it takes from the Dark Souls series is clear, but it still manages to have an identity all of its own. The story starts simply. There's an icy planet upon which slumber various immortals, unbeknownst to those outside, which some sometimes seek out. After that, the story is revealed through conversation with NPCs discovered during the course of play. It's a technique similar to other action games, as well as the genre in which this one seems to be taking its clues from. Gameplay is relatively simple. You select a weapon and an artifact, and those define your character's combat moves. Then you proceed through a series of top-down isometric 2D levels, engaging enemies. Each time you defeat an enemy, you gain a certain number of points, and if you in turn are then defeated, they remain where you died. You may then attempt to recover them before dying again. Other items may be acquired during play as well, including ranged attacks, spells, healing items, and so forth. These often come with limited uses, which are restored when you die and reappear. However, especially with the healing item, further uses may be acquired during play. The game has full gamepad support, which is highly recommended because the combat system relies on a very Souls-like series of moves. The character can execute a basic attack, an awakened attack, run, dodge/dash, or block. Each of these eats up a certain amount of stamina, and although stamina regenerates quickly, proper stamina management in a fight is critical, as is learning each enemy type's various attacks. Enemies have stamina as well, and dashing into an enemy while it is at low stamina can stun it for a short time. Beware though, because if the enemy has higher stamina when you connect, then it will stun you instead. These relatively simple aspects combine into a challenging and engaging combat system, although not one without its flaws, which I'll get to in a moment. Otherwise, gameplay involves exploring the map, encountering various bosses, and gradually unlocking ways forward and backwards. During the game, you will encounter cryopods, where you may rest, switch items out, and spend whatever earned experience you have to increase your stats. Upon leaving the pod, your character will automatically rest, which restores health and item uses, but also restores all enemies. In this way, this is quite similar to the bonfires of the Souls series. Graphically, this game has a pleasing, hand-drawn aesthetic that is cohesive and suits it, while the sound design offers appropriate feedback where necessary. The animations are well done, and this is quite important because a lot of combat clues are visual, and offer that split second of warning as to whether you should dodge, parry, or so on. I will admit that while I played the game for some hours before writing this review, I didn't get nearly as far through the game as I would have liked, so take this as a first impressions type look, as quite frankly all of the Indie Game Fridays should be taken. However, I will say that in this case it was less due to the lack of time and more due to the fact that I'm simply not that good at Souls-like games. Exacerbating this is the fact that, at least with Immortal Planet, the combat seemed a little bit clunkier than even most Souls-like games I've played. Not much clunkier, mind you, but when you're dealing with combat that requires fine timing and dodging, even a very slight awkwardness in the control scheme or the animations can seem to have an outsized impact for what it is. That having been said, it's certainly not unworkable, and if you enjoy the Souls type of gameplay, then you might find this one right up your alley. Indeed, it comes a little bit closer than most of the other 2D top-down games that I've seen trying to mimic that feel of late, and I have to appreciate that. I would definitely recommend it to fans of the genre, but if you find the punishing combat of such games a turn-off, then this one's definitely going to just frustrate you further. I personally thought that it was worth the price tag, which seems to be in the middling range for indie RPGs like this, and I'd actually like to see more in that range. On that note, I'll wrap up here. This has been the RPG Crawler with Indie Game Friday Immortal Planet. If you like what you've seen, please leave a like, comment if you've got feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content, both computer and tabletop. If you want to help support the channel, please check my Patreon out at patreon.com/rpgcrawler. Until next time, take care and goodbye.